If you're thinking about becoming a minimalist, well, in this video, I want to share with you a few mindset shifts that will help you thrive on a minimalist lifestyle. Because minimalism is way more than just decluttering your home and living with less. It's really changing the way you think. It's a shift in mindset just as much as a change in lifestyle. And because of that, it has a ripple effect on everything else in your life. And in my experience and in the experience of every minimalist I know, it's for the better. So the first thing is to differentiate what's essential from what isn't. So a concept very closely related to minimalism is essentialism, which is a concept described in the book Essentialism, the Disciplined Pursuit of Less. Essentialism could be described as less but better, or less is more. It's about focusing on and nurturing the very few things that bring the most value into your life while discarding the rest. I would say that if minimalism is a lifestyle, essentialism is really the philosophy behind it. And to practice essentialism, you must first reflect upon and define your priorities. According to the 80-20 rule, 20% of causes create 80% of the effect. So what are the 20% in your life that cause 80% of your happiness? For me, right now, it's to do creative work that I love and that fulfills me. For you, perhaps it's spending time with your partner or your family, or exercising, or spending time in nature. Also think of the clutter in your life, of the things that don't bring you joy. Minimalism is really both nurturing what you love and then obviously gradually letting go of what doesn't bring you joy. And it usually doesn't stop with our material possessions. It also extends to our relationships, our activities, and just the way we spend our time in general. So the next few ideas are quite important. So this one is about feeling appreciation. Often we buy unessential stuff to fill a void. The void could be boredom, loneliness, maybe dissatisfaction in your work or something else. Sometimes we feel the void quite intensely, and it can lead to depression and anxiety. But sometimes the void is very subtle, but it's still there. A healthier way to fill the void instead of buying unessential stuff is to have a daily appreciation ritual. And here's why it's important. So gratitude makes you acknowledge and appreciate and focus on the things you already have in your life. Over time, if you have a daily gratitude practice, it fills the void without having to add anything else into your life. And the cool thing is that it doesn't only work with shopping. It also helps with overeating or any other behavior that you may use to fill the void. We all have our favorite method of filling the inner void. For me, it's food. Maybe for you, it's shopping. I don't know, but if it is, a daily gratitude practice will help you let go of the need and even the desire to buy unessential items. Another way to fill the void is to savor each moment. So there's a beautiful documentary film called Touched the Sound that tells a story of Evelyn Glennie, who's a musician who happens to be deaf. Although she doesn't hear sound with her ears, she can feel it. In the film, she says that most people only hear the very superficial layer of sound. But if we were more attentive, we would hear the more subtle layers and the richness and the texture of the sounds around us. We could even feel the vibration of sound. And in my experience, it's not only true with sound. When we are fully present, we also experience the more subtle layers of life. Food becomes tastier. Walking in the woods becomes a sensory experience. I believe that being fully present is the difference between living a life in black and white and one in technicolor. And because your life seems fuller or richer or more colorful, you feel less the need to fill it with unessential stuff. And another way to fill the void without buying unessential stuff is to focus on experiences. It could be going to concerts more often, or traveling to another country, or right now maybe to another city, or biking or hiking, going to museums, taking a photography class, or camping, or whatever else is your thing. And I have a couple of recommendations for you. 2 recommendations. So the first thing is to do monthly experiments. So I started doing monthly experiments about 2 or 3 years ago. And I did that at a time when I was a bit bored and I wanted to make my life more interesting. So every year, at the beginning of the year, I make a list of things I want to try and explore. And each month, I do one of those things. For example, this month, actually tonight, I'm going to a cacao ceremony. Last year, I tried Wim Hof's method. Another month, I tried Joe Dispenza's meditation. I did ecstatic dance and I don't know, a bunch of other things. And I really do find that by doing that, my life is richer. The second idea comes from another YouTuber, a channel which I absolutely love, is Antonia and the Universe. And she calls it the yearly theme. She says that every year she picks a theme that she then explores in depth. For example, one year she learned all about nutrition and healthy eating. Another year she learned about mindfulness and meditation. And another year she learned about minimalism. And for a whole year she explores and experiments and learns all she can about her chosen theme. You could also pick a quarterly theme if a whole year is too long for you. That's actually what I did this year. I think that both the monthly experiments and the idea of a yearly theme can push you to try new things and focus more on experiences rather than the material world. Another thing is to choose the best. Since you'll buy fewer items, you'll probably want to choose the best option, both in terms of quality and also what makes you happy. You'll probably be okay to buy your first choice even if it's more expensive. For example, let's say I need a new pair of shoes or an outfit for a special occasion. Since I really don't buy that many things, I usually get my first choice, the one I prefer, unless it's really out of my budget. If I get my second choice, then I risk feeling dissatisfied with my purchase and eventually end up buying the one I preferred, and I will end up with 2 items. It has happened to me many times in the past. And the problem is that over time, it means that we reaccumulate things that we don't really use, so we reclutter our closets and our homes. So one of the key principles with minimalism is joy and quality over quantity. So as you can see, minimalism is so much more than just living with less. It's not just a lifestyle change, but also a mindset shift that usually leads to living a more colorful and more meaningful life. If you're still not convinced, you can watch my other videos about 8 ways minimalism will change your life for the better. I'll link it somewhere in the description and also on the screen. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you like this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up and also subscribe if you aren't. And I wish you a beautiful day and I'll see you next week.